Hello, welcome to Nana Talk, where voices unite and the community rise. This is a space where we empower community people, one talk at a time, with real conversations around the block. Today, our special guest is Mr. Thomas James from the Innocent Foundation. He's the founder of the J Innocent program. Am I saying it right?
J Innocent Apparel.
And J Innocent Apparel. How about that? So I brought Mr. J in because he has an interesting story. So I want to start off by allowing Mr. Thomas James to talk about his story first, and then we'll get into his apparel, okay, which is J Innocent Apparel. So, Mr. J, how you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing great, bro.
Hey, man, thank you for finding the time to stop by Nana Talk.
I thank you for creating the time for me to be able to do it.
So let's start off by telling the audience a little bit about yourself.
I jump right into the thing that basically done created the J that people know. My name is Thomas James. I'm better known as J. And what happened to me, it done happened so many times, so often now, to people are like immune to it, right? But I served 32 years in prison for a crime that I didn't commit.
Right.
I was featured in GQ magazine, and I had to help. It took a lot of people and a lot of resources to undo what was done to me. And so April 27, 2022, I was exonerated in court. The state admitted that I had been wrongly convicted. And I guess you could say the rest is history.
Okay, so you served 32 years in state prison.
Yes, sir.
For a crime you did not commit.
Right.
You was recently released in 2022. And after being released, you started to work on yourself as relates to building a future for yourself. Because after being incarcerated for 32 years, getting out, starting your life all over again, that had to be something difficult, huh?
Oh, absolutely. The thing is, what most people didn't see, what I had to go through mentally, the things that I go through mentally because of what happened to me. But coming out, nobody really thinks of the minute things but necessities that's necessary. You talking about somebody who's getting out of prison after doing 32 years who don't even have deodorant, lotion, soap. And I got released with nothing. Most people get out of prison in Florida, at least get like a $50 gift card.
Yeah, at one time
I didn't get that.
One time they used to give you 100.
It used to be 100.
Then they reduced it to 50.
And it got reduced to 50.
Yeah.
I didn't even get that. And so, that gives some semblance as to the struggle for me. I got out, got nothing, need everything. Got nothing but need everything. Underwear, t-shirt, all the things
deodorant,
that people,
a job,
toothpaste,
little things that we take for granted,
right,
daily.
And because I stayed active while I was incarcerated, I came home with almost 200 certificates, and I landed a job with the county. I had been out a couple of months. I went, that was maybe like almost 30 people trying to get that position. And I was the only one that was certified by the state of Florida.
Because of all the conditioning you did on yourself while you was incarcerated, getting certificates and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I got the job with the county. I worked with the county for like 14 months. But that was an agreement. Like, I had explained what my ambitions were, because the truth of the matter is simply this. I'm coming home at 55. most of the people that I know, people that I ran with, people that I went to school with, people my age, they on the brink of retiring.
Yeah.
They on the brink of retiring. Even people that was like in the streets who, you know, turned it around, they still got almost 30 years
in already.
right?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at me, and you know, I'm a realist and I operate in the realm of reality. And I'm saying, well, I'm 55, and if I work for 30 straight years for somebody, I'm gonna be 85 when I retire. So how much of that I'm gonna be able to enjoy?
And but not only that, you haven't created no retirement.
Exactly.
You haven't worked to even get a pension or
Social
401k,
Security.
Social Security, none of that.
Nothing. And so with that knowledge, with that, you know, me knowing that, I knew that I have to become, and I'm not saying self-employed. What I needed to do was come up with a system, you know, where I can have people operate that system and we make money. Because self-employed is still a problem.
Yeah.
Because when you're not working, you're not making money.
Right.
If I got a lawn service and I'm cutting the grass, if I take a vacation,
or if it rains,
whatever, I'm not making money.
And the weather changes. When it get cold, the grass don't grow.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
And so, you know, with all that in mind, and you know, you got two things coming together, right? You got the knowledge, you know, what the situation, you know, the circumstances, you know, with my life financially, and then with what happened to me. And so I came up with the idea, I need to create something, and one of the things that I said I was gonna create was a clothing brand.
Okay.
That will allow people to take a bold stance against injustice, you know, wrongful convictions, any of that, prosecutorial misconduct by police. And so I came up with the brand Innocent.
J Innocent.
Right. And so I decided that I was going to attach my name to it.
Okay.
You know, because I don't want anyone to ever forget me.
Yeah.
And who I am and what I've been through. And so I made it J Innocent Apparel.
Okay.
And you can find that online at www.jinnocentapparel.com. Also,
any phone number they can reach you by?
Yeah, you can always reach me at 305-607-3554.
So say it again a little slower so they can get it.
305-607-3554.
So let me ask you, something recently happened with you as it relates to you being wrongly convicted at the state level. You want to talk about that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What happened was I was wrongly convicted, and I was eventually exonerated. And so what happened was, most people who get exonerated in the state of Florida, right, in particular, the state of Florida has a law that says if you wrongly convicted, you get $50,000 for every year that you was incarcerated. Well, they also had a law that said if you was already convicted of a felony, regardless.
That had nothing to do with that case.
Yeah. If you had one violent felony conviction or two misdemeanors, I mean, not misdemeanors, but non-violent felonies, you didn't qualify or meet the criteria for compensation. And so the Senate, a bill was drafted, like every year a bill was drafted. But this time, you know, with that bill being drafted, you had some undercurrents that was moving things in ways, and so that bill got through the House, it got through the Senate, and it made its way to the governor's desk. And I received a text message that said the governor wants you there when he signs it.
Okay.
And me and my attorney went to Tallahassee, and we was there when he signed it. And what he signed was the bill that is now law, that says regardless to your priors, you entitled to that $50,000 per year.
So you want to give a shout out to your attorney?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely a shout out to Miss Natalie G. Figures.
Okay.
The baddest attorney on the planet. On the planet.
You know what's so unique about her situation is that's not what she practiced law in. Right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Natalie she learned of my situation, and after, some conversations back and forth and me writing and mailing stuff, and she asking questions, she got all my paperwork. Because what happens is even though she got attacked in the newspaper, saying that case was too big for her, she didn't know what she was doing, she was out of her league. Because Natalie Figures is a personal injury attorney. Yeah. She knew nothing about criminal law.
Right.
And so, other than maybe the little minor things that you have to do just going through law school, the little brief brushes with it, but that wasn't her field. And because of that, she got attacked in the media. But the thing is that she saw and recognized and realized what the people who specialize in that field didn't.
Yeah.
Or chose to
ignore it. Right.
Right.
I was going to say it, right.
And so that's my shero.
Right. Okay.
And she know that. She is my shero. And it wasn't just, her. It was, I had a cousin who, when she was like 8 years old, I left the streets. By the time she was 11, she made a statement to me. She forgot it, but I didn't. And she told me that I'm going to help get you out of prison.
When she was 11.
Right. Well, actually, she said, I'm going to help get you out of jail. Because they didn't know the difference between jail and prison. And she said, I'm going to help get you out of jail. And she forgot all about it. She went on living her life. And I kind of didn't think nothing of it, I just understood that was her passionate love for me, for a family member. And so, years later, we talked over the years, wrote letters, different stuff. And one day I called her. By this time, she's an adult. She got kids. She living her life. And she like, when you coming home? And I started explaining, but this time it was different because she was actually
she's old enough to understand.
Right.
Too.
And so now I'm giving her specifics, like I'm laying out facts for her. And she just kept asking questions. Okay, call me tomorrow. And we just kept going and going. And so then what happened was she started creating a buzz on social media, on Facebook and stuff like this about my situation. And she was creating videos and doing stuff in regards to my situation. Also, I got to give a shout out to Mr. Tristan Corton, because he was the reporter that did the story on me, that illuminated my situation, in GQ magazine.
Okay.
He conducted a year-long investigation. And he went and told him, hey, look, this is what it is. It's finna drop in GQ. And shortly thereafter, me and my attorney got letters saying, hey, fill this out and do this and submit it so we can start reinvestigating your case.
Good.
And so,
wow.
And so another thing, I can't omit certain things. That was a rally because it had been determined that I was innocent. I had been told that, oh, the investigation over, we know you innocent, right?
But they still ain't let you out.
That was in January, and it was April, and I was still incarcerated. And so a rally was born in the mind, protest, and it happened. It got, people was contacted, everybody, information was disseminated to the public and to, politicians and different organizations and all this. But the people that showed up was my family, the Circle of Brotherhood, the NAACP showed up, Florida Rising showed up, Black Affairs showed up, and that was 2 politicians. The whole time I was dealing with this situation, not the entire time they was involved in it, but when my fate was still uncertain, these 2 particular politicians got actively involved.
Okay.
And that's James Bush and Keone McGee.
Okay. They got actively involved in your situation.
In my situation, in the fight for me, for my liberation.
Okay.
And so I have to make mention of that.
Okay, that's cool. So, how... And I know some people going to be watching this and say, well, what that got to do with Nana Talk? What that got to do with small businesses? Well, this what it got to do with small businesses. We sitting here talking to Thomas James, who was wrongly convicted of a crime. He's since been released after serving 32 years, and he started his own apparel company. That's called J Innocent. He's the founder of J Innocent. So let's talk about J Innocent. So So I'm guessing the J Innocent standing for you and you being innocent.
Right.
Okay. But what sparked that? What sparked that you wanted to put that label on some apparel and launch a business career into apparel?
Well, because one of the things for me is that I wanted to be able to forever protest, shout out, and stand against injustice. And I know that we do a lot of things through music,
Art and clothing.
People make a lot of statements, political stance and different things, but all based on their clothing, their attire.
Right.
And so I felt that this would be a unique way for me to do this, right? And be employed, because a portion of the proceeds will go to aiding and assisting people that I left behind.
That's wrongly
incarcerated.
So, I never thought about what you just said. I never looked at it that way, that whenever you taking a stand, whenever you protesting, whenever you lobbying, whenever you fighting for something, or whenever you want to make a statement, you always mindful of what you putting on.
You put on.
I never thought of, I never looked at it that way until you just said it that way. So that's right.
You become like a walking billboard.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And so I felt that people, a lot of times people like, I want to support, but I don't know what to do.
What to do, yeah.
And so what you can do is you just buy the things that represent. Most clothing brands don't have a real significant, like their existence is named after an individual that's just interested in making money.
Right.
Charge you enormous, exuberant prices. And it's sad because it's an attack on the people who can least afford it. Because what we have a tendency of trying to do is trying to look rich.
Yeah.
You're trying to look like
Trying
everything
to run
all
with
right.
the Joneses.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I want to do my brand. I want my brand to always be affordable
Where people can afford it.
because I want it to be affordable for the people who was there for me.
Right.
People whose family members are in the same position as I. And through this way they can aid and assist their relatives.
Right.
And so I have to make mention of the fact that I have another business, a nonprofit.
Okay.
It's called Innocence and Injustice Foundation.
Okay.
And in that we advocate for people, we advocate and we advocate for laws being changed, and things like that, dealing with the Florida criminal injustice system.
So I also know you wrote a book, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, did you bring a copy of your book with
Yes,
you?
I did.
Okay, let the audience see this book.
And so this book,
If the Walls Can Talk, would you listen?
right? And so the thing for me
Hold
is,
it up some, cause they ain't gonna see it. There you go.
and so this book that I the title, I pondered this. I had like 15 different titles, and the one that stuck the most was this title. Reason being is that most people who are incarcerated or who've been incarcerated, it's like people come home from the war. They don't want to talk about being in there.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to try to put it behind you
Especially been there so long.
for so long.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I realized and recognized so many issues and things that's wrong with the Florida the system.
Right.
And so I wrote a book that exposes the majority of it.
Stuff. Okay.
A lot of it.
Okay. So where they can find that book at?
This book can be found on Amazon.
Okay.
And I actually wrote this book while I was incarcerated. And so my name is Thomas James. But as the author is the pseudonym that I used was my name backwards.
Okay.
And so the author is gonna pop up as James J. Thomas.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
So what that book sells for?
The book sells for $19.95.
Oh, that's good. That ain't bad. Yeah.
It's educational.
Yeah.
Very, very
And it
informative.
teach you some flaws in the justice system.
Right, because the people in society is the ones that need to be aware.
Yeah.
Because it's just certain things that people don't know because they feel like the law is so complex.
Yeah.
People don't take the time to learn it.
Yeah.
Because most people don't want to learn the law because the people who really learn the law is the people that have to deal with it.
Have to deal with it, yeah.
So
let's show the audience some of your apparel. I see you brought some of your apparel. I asked him earlier why he picked purple, and he said that's what he grabbed. So let's show this apparel, brother.
So when I went in,
so right now, what are you doing? You doing t-shirts?
I'm doing t-shirts. We do t-shirts that has the logo on it. We're doing t-shirts. We're doing short sets. This is a short set.
Okay.
It's the shirt
and the pants.
and the pants.
Okay. Okay.
We also have.
So in variety of colors?
It's in a variety of colors. Short sets, I have 21 colors.
Okay.
21 colors in.
What that is? Sweatsuit?
Sweatsuit. In the hoodies, hoodie sets.
Yeah.
It's top and bottom. They go for $55.
Okay. The set?
The whole set.
Oh, that's a deal.
It's $55 for.
And I see a hat over there, so
right.
You can also get your hat to match it.
And so the hats, the hat, it comes in 16 colors.
Okay. How much the hat sell?
The hat sells for $25.
Okay.
It's embroidered, and so even on your, you can
put something
mix
else
and
on,
match
right? And mix and match.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So you're doing your short sets. You're doing something for summer and winter.
Right.
Right. And you got your hat, and you can mix it up. You can mix the colors up. Okay?
You can put the hoodie top on with the shorts. You can put the bottom on with the shirt.
Okay.
You get creative.
So how long you been doing this apparel now?
I've actually been doing it for. The site actually launched. The company was established, but I was just building up inventory and stuff like that over the last couple of years because I didn't have money. So I got the company going, established. Then I want to preserve my name and all that. And so I've just been, over the years, when I'm working, I just been building up inventory. And the site and everything actually launched April the 27th of 2026. And I done that to memorialize the day that I got released.
So you launched it on the day you got released?
The website.
Okay.
April the 27th.
So if anybody out there want to support the J Innocent Apparel, you can reach out to Mr. Thomas James. Remember, again, he served 32 years in state prison for a crime he did not commit. He was exonerated for it. And as of now, he have not been financially made whole for spending mostly all his young adult years in prison for something he didn't do. So if anybody would like to, you can reach Mr. James at
305-607-3554. You can also reach us, J Innocent Apparel, at jinnocent91@gmail.com.
So if they want to go on the site and see some of your stuff, what they go on now?
www.j, the letter J, the word innocent, apparel.com.
And they can also reach out to you if they want any special embroidery on your apparel, if they like, right? So if they want to add their name on it too, on the back, or add something special.
We at this time we do custom, but the only thing we allow you to customize is the logo.
Is the logo,
right?
Okay.
We allow you to customize it. You can get it in whatever color you want it. You can get it with glitter. A lot of the females, they order it with and they glitter. Get glitter. Okay. But men wear glitter too, so y'all, yeah.
Right. So let me ask you, how has life been after serving 32 years in prison and only being out now 4? How have your life been? So I remember hearing you one time saying that you never once wanted to take a plea. You never once wanted to admit to something you didn't do just to be released early, and that you was going to die in there knowing that you was incarcerated for something that you didn't do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My thing is, I always had this philosophy: I'd rather die a man than live and be a coward. And so people often pose the question, like, if they came to you with credit time served, or you can do this and you can go home tomorrow, I say I'd be back here tonight and I'd die here. Not that I wanted to die in prison, but I would never, ever, under no circumstances, admit to something that I didn't do. And more importantly, that was somebody's life that was taken.
Yeah.
And so
you ain't wanted that tied to you.
Even when it was an opportunity for me to get pardoned.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon was a thing that was out there for me. And when all this broke out, and I said that I don't want it. I don't want a pardon. And my attorney actually thought I hadn't lost my mind, because I was like, I don't want the pardon. You pardon guilty people. You don't pardon innocent people.
So I can say, knowing you these probably last almost 4 years since you've been out, having you back into society and watch you grow and do positive things in the community is a plus for our neighborhood and for our country, you know. So I know it's a lot of people that's wrongly convicted and never get the opportunity to get out or be free. So I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank the justice system for finally working in the right way to get you released. And again, if you want to support Mr. Thomas James through his J Innocent Apparel, you can reach out to him. Again, my name is Leroy Jones. I'm your host of Nana Talk. Until next time, love each other, stay safe, and peace.